Hey, my beautiful people, welcome back to SoulSync. Let's be real. These days, situationships are way too common. It's that messy middle ground where you're not single, but you're also not in a real relationship. And the worst part? You don't even realize you're stuck in one until you're already emotionally drained. A situationship looks fun in the beginning, but over time, it leaves you confused, insecure, and wondering where you stand in their life. I've seen so many girls settle for this gray area because they hope it will magically turn into something serious. But let me tell you, if a man wants you, he will make it known. If you're stuck in constant uncertainty, chances are you're not in love. You're in a situationship. Today, we're breaking down the major signs you might already be in one, and by the end, you'll know exactly if it's time to stay or if it's time to walk away. So grab your tea, sit back, and let's get into it. Here are the signs you're already in a situationship. 1. There's no clear label. If you've been seeing each other for months but still don't know if you're together, that's the biggest red flag of a situationship. Labels matter because they show intention. If he avoids calling you his girlfriend, his partner, or anything serious, he's keeping you in limbo. And deep down, you know you deserve clarity. The reason this feels so draining is because it keeps you questioning your worth. You find yourself asking, am I overthinking, or does he really not want to commit? That emotional uncertainty eats away at your confidence. A man who sees your value won't leave you second-guessing. And here's the truth. If he wanted you as his girlfriend, he'd claim you without hesitation. When there's no label after months of talking, it's not an accident. It's a choice. That's not romance. That's a situationship. 2. Everything feels casual, all the time. If every hangout feels more like chilling than actually dating, you might already be stuck. Real relationships involve effort, dressing up for each other, planning dates, introducing you to friends. But in a situationship, it's always casual. Netflix, food, repeat. At first, it might feel fun and relaxed, but over time, it starts to sting. You notice he doesn't go out of his way to impress you or make things special. That lack of effort shows where you stand in his priorities. If you're always an afterthought, you're not in something serious. Because here's the deal. A man who values you will want to show you off and create memories with you. If he's keeping things lazy and surface level, it's not because he's low-key. It's because he's not serious. 3. He avoids talking about the future. A huge sign of a situationship is when the future never comes up. If every time you mention next month, next year, or even small plans, he changes the subject, that's intentional. He doesn't want you to think long-term because he isn't thinking long-term with you. This creates a constant feeling of instability. You might start making excuses for him, like, he's just not ready to talk about it. But deep down, you know it's more than that. A man who sees a future with you won't shy away from conversations about where things are going. If the only thing you two plan is the next hangout, that's not a relationship. That's convenience. Don't let him trick you into thinking it's too early. Months in, the future should at least be part of the conversation. 4. The communication is inconsistent. In a real relationship, communication feels steady and reassuring. But in a situationship, it's hot and cold. Some days he's blowing up your phone, and other days you're lucky to get a reply. That inconsistency is a classic sign that he's not fully invested. This roller coaster keeps you hooked because you chase the highs. When he's attentive, you feel wanted. When he pulls back, you overthink and try harder to win him back. And that's exactly what situationships thrive on. Uncertainty. The truth is, consistency is love. If he can't keep steady communication with you, it's because you're not a priority. Don't confuse occasional effort with genuine care. 5. You haven't met his people. If you've been talking for months but still haven't met his friends or family, you're not his girlfriend. You're his secret. Meeting the people closest to him is a big step, and if he keeps you away from them, it means he's not ready to claim you publicly. This often makes girls feel invisible. You start questioning why he doesn't want others to know about you, and the painful truth is usually because he doesn't see you as long-term. If you were important, he'd want to show you off. A guy who's serious will proudly introduce you to his circle. If he's keeping you hidden, it's not because he's private, it's because you're not permanent in his eyes. 6. It's more physical than emotional. Another clear sign is when everything feels centered around the physical. If most of your time together is spent being intimate instead of actually connecting, then it's not a relationship. It's a situationship, disguised as one. You might convince yourself that physical closeness means emotional closeness, but they're not the same. If there's no deep conversation, no emotional bonding, and no real connection outside of that, you're just filling a void for him. Remember, intimacy without commitment isn't love. It's convenience. Don't confuse attention with affection. They're not the same thing. 7. You always feel like you're waiting. If you find yourself constantly waiting for a text back, for a plan, for clarity, that's another major sign. Real relationships give you peace of mind, not anxiety. If you're waiting more than you're being prioritized, it's because he doesn't see you as a priority. This constant waiting chips away at your self-esteem. You start doubting yourself, wondering if you're asking for too much, when really, you're asking for the bare minimum. Consistency, effort, respect. Those things should never feel like begging. And here's the harsh truth. If you're always waiting, it's because he's already moving forward without you. You're not stuck in love. You're stuck in his convenience. 8. You're confused, more than you're happy. At the end of the day, the biggest sign of a situationship is how you feel. If you're confused, insecure, and constantly overthinking more than you're actually happy, then it's not love, it's limbo. Relationships aren't supposed to feel like guessing games. You shouldn't be decoding his every word, wondering where you stand. Love brings clarity, comfort, and stability. If you're living in doubt, that's not love, that's a situationship. And here's the bottom line. If you have to ask, what are we, after months of being together, then you already have your answer. So my beautiful people, those were the biggest signs you're already in a situationship. And I want you to remember this. Being in a situationship is not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of his lack of clarity and effort. You deserve someone who knows exactly what they want and isn't afraid to claim you. If you've realized you're in one, don't panic. Take it as your sign to walk away and make space for something real. Because the right man won't make you guess, and he won't keep you waiting. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video, share it with your bestie who needs this reminder, and subscribe to SoulSync for more raw, real talk about love and relationships. And comment below. Have you ever realized you were stuck in a situationship? I'll be reading your stories.